Welcome to the dsdatabase.org full review of the EX4i. Today we'll be publishing the world's first written review as well as the world's first video review of this cart. Special thanks to gamecool.com, that's cool spelt with a K, for providing the sample and arranging this review. So if you want to support DS Database, be sure to purchase your EX4i from www.gamecool.com. So, the EX4i is a flash card that has chips that would give it extra processing power to do things that other cards cannot. We've already covered many things on our first impressions, but today we'll be looking at the menu a little more in depth, as the actual hardware has been changed. So apparently my complaints didn't go unheard, so the EX4i is undergoing a few hardware changes that will make it better in many aspects. So for this review, we're only looking at the menu. So if we boot up a DSi with an X4, we'll get the Star Wars Lethal Alliance icon. And it only takes a few seconds to boot straight back into the menu. You'll see that this menu is very similar to the R4 menu. In fact, you can use the same cheat files as well as the skins. And here is a skin from www.ndsthemes.com. It's made by a guy named New Kira, and this is an R4 skin, so that means that all of the R4 skins, the thousands, tens of thousands of skins on the net, are already available for the X4. So you see that we have three icons, very familiar icons, and let's begin with the games. You'll see that this isn't my DS testing microSD. This is mainly my GBA. So I've only got a few games listed here, and let's just boot Tetris up. Oh, let's check out the cheats first. You'll see that lists the full name as well as gives you some options. Let's see. Let's boot up Mario Kart. Oops, gotta create a save. And you can see that the boot time is really quite fast. And of course, it has the soft reset, so it goes straight back to the menu. Also, in the game menu is GBA games that run straight from the menu, so you'll see that the icon is Game Boy Advance games. So let's just pick a game that I know will run fine. And you can see that there's a bit of a load time. It's not quite as fast, actually it's not even close to as fast as the Supercard DS2 or the iPlayer, but it works. Let's turn this down a little. There's nothing on the bottom screen, so no options, no special features, it's just the bare bone games. Let's pick a problematic ROM. Now, Normat suggested that I use Doom, and it was actually a great suggestion because it shows exactly how bad ROMs can go without just not booting. It is definitely a problematic ROM, so I'm picking and choosing. Most GBA games, 95% of my test passed, and you'll see that Doom 2 was one of the games that didn't quite work out so well. Let's get in game. And I'm holding the forward button right now, so you can see it's quite stuttery. Anyways, enough of that. Let's move on to the next section. Let's deal with this button first, over here. The boot slot 2 is one of the things that the R4 used to have, and it allowed you to boot old cartridges that fit on the bottom of the DS, so where the GBA cartridges used to be. So this essentially is useless for anyone that's using a DSi or DSi XL, or anyone that doesn't actually have a cartridge from 3 or 4 or even 5 years ago. I'm not sure why the X4 team kept it here. Maybe they just like it, or they were too lazy to change a menu, but it works. I've tested it, but not exactly useful. Lastly, we have the media icon. So when you boot it, you'll get the option of X4 Movie or Moonshell. So we're all very familiar with Moonshell. It's a very, very simple menu, very slick, that will play your music. So that's available on any flash card, so it just allows you to have a bit more flexibility since it's built into their menu. So of course we're looking at the X4 movie player instead, and when you boot up you get the choice between movie and music. I'm not entirely sure why they split it up, but they did. So let's pick another song. You'll notice that there's really nothing fancy here. You don't even get a skip to next song, you only have a fast forward, and it shuts down the screen after a few seconds. So one of the things someone wanted to test is whether it keeps going on when you close your DS, and you'll see that it doesn't actually turn off the screens, so it just keeps going and going. You can use your headphones or whatever you want, but the L and R buttons do nothing. They don't pause, they don't move to the next song or whatever. Oops, wrong button. Well, anyways, there's actually a bit of load time for each song, so even when you go from one song to the next, there's like a second or two of load time, which means that Moonshell is the vastly superior music player. So I'd highly recommend using Moonshell instead. So now I'm picking a movie file just to let you guys see. And here is the same video I used in my iPlayer review. Again, it's the exact same options, so there aren't any subtitles or aspect ratios. The picture is actually being stretched ever so slightly. There's no way to turn that off. Of course, we have our pause play, fast forward. You can see the timer go up, rewind, fast forward, stop entirely. So when you stop, it goes back to a screen where you pick your movies. And the seek function works very well on anything that the iPlayer can run. But if you go to a video that is stretching the limits, such as this one, you'll see that the audio and video sync don't match up. So I'm not sure if you can tell. Anyways, the iPlayer, or the X4i, I'm pretty happy with what it can do, and I definitely recommend it, but I'd also recommend checking out the Supercard DS2 as an alternative. So that's it for the full video review. Be sure to check out the written review at dsdatabase.org, and thanks for watching.